Good morning and welcome to the channel on this, the 24th day of April 2026, which is a Friday. Whilst we are waiting for the USA and Iran to stop calling each other names and actually sit down and talk about peace, I thought I would have a look and see there is one area of conflict in the world that very rarely gets mentioned. So I thought I'd bring it up today. And that Somalia is facing an intense combination of armed conflict, especially with Al-Shabaab, political tensions ahead of the elections taking place this year, and a rapidly worsening hunger crisis driven by drought and funding shortages. The security situation with the Al-Shabaab resurgence. Al-Shabaab controls large areas of south and central Somalia. The group has regained territory that the government had previously taken back. Attacks including car bombings, assaults on hotels and government buildings, and rural ambushes. The Somali government relies heavily on clan militias, African Union forces and US airstrikes to contain the group. The political tensions ahead of the 2026 elections, they are preparing for a one-person, one-vote elections for the first time, replacing the clan-based system. For clan, read tribal. The shift has triggered political deadlock and occasional fighting. Disputes are sharpest in Jubaland and the contested Puntland and Somaliland border areas, with new federal state recognition as inflamed tensions. The constitutional review remains contentious, adding to instability. Here's the part that always makes me sad: the humanitarian crisis, hunger, drought and displacement. 6.5 million Somalis are facing hunger, with repeated failed rainy seasons destroying livestock and livelihood. 1.8 million children under 5 are at risk of acute malnutrition. The 2026 Humanitarian Needs Plan estimates 4.8 million people require aid, but funding cuts mean less than half can be reached. Drought during the dry season is expected to worsen conditions even further. There is some international involvement. The US and the UAE airstrikes continue against Al-Shabaab and ISIS in Somalia. Ethiopia has conducted limited strikes, but tensions with Somalia have eased after Turkey's mediation. The US is preparing to hand over responsibility to Somali institutions by late 2026. This is raising concerns about future human rights and monitoring capacity and capabilities. What this means overall: Somalia is a multi-layered crisis, a resilient insurgency that the government struggles to defeat, political fragmentation as the country attempts a historic electoral transition, a severe hunger emergency driven by climate shocks and reduced age, an international military involvement that stabilises some areas but cannot resolve underlying governance and economic problems. Sad. Did you notice the 1.5 million children subject to starvation? So sad. Again, it's all about power. It brings into context the other areas of conflict around the world, especially the Iran-US, Russia-Ukraine. They pale into insignificance compared with this. Only Gaza is similar. Okay, thank you for watching this morning. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.